Today I'm going to show you how to do simple maintenance on your PlayStation 5 console to get the dust out of your system, including using this screwdriver to unscrew the fan so you can get all the dust out of there, out of all the main problem zones anyway. You know, I would at least, if I were you, take off the panels every few weeks, you know, maybe once a month, once every 3 weeks, and just wipe the dust out the best you can, because the GPU on these systems are so overclocked, it's ridiculous, you know. And you know, they have to use, what is it, liquid metal, yeah, instead of thermal compound on these things. So they had to use like a special reservoir to keep the thermal, like the liquid. I always want to call it thermal compound because I'm so used to using it. But liquid metal, you know, because you don't really use liquid metal a lot, because if it goes anywhere on the board, it's going to short out that thing on the board. So hopefully the Sony's reservoir solution they've created actually does its job, which I think it will. It looks like it's a pretty smart idea. Actually, I had to give Sony's R&D department, you know, the thumbs up on that one. But anyway, the screwdriver that you're going to need for this, it's a little weird because, let me see if you can see it, which you probably won't be able to, but it's pretty much just a star torx screwdriver, like any normal torx screwdriver, except it has a little tiny point in the inside, because the screws have a little post. It's a star with a little post, and what the screwdriver is called is the T6 security torx. Or no, it's the T8 security torx, excuse me. So you want to get a T8 security torx for this. I'll put it down in the description just in case I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's a T8, could be a T6, but I'll make sure I put that in the description just so, you know, I'm sure about it. So anyway, but you want to make sure it's a security torx, you know, because it being a security torx just means it has the little hole in the middle. But anyway, let's pop off these plates and let's get to dusting. So to pop off the plates, you're gonna put it down, and you'll see right here how you have the open lips on the PlayStation, the two big fat, like that makes that opens into the V. You don't want to pull up on that side. You want to pull up on the part with the P, and you don't have to pull up hard. Just there's these two little notches on the bottom, and let's say my fingers are at the top or whatever, that keep the notches closed. Like when you pull up on the flap, it just releases the notches, and then you can freely scoot it out. So you just pull up and then pull back. And you don't want to put a whole ton of pressure on it, because if you pull back too hard, they have these little anchor points right here that pull out, and they can scratch up the black part of the PlayStation. But anyway, so you're going to get some toilet paper, preferably a soft cloth. I'm using toilet paper right now just because, you know, it's what I have on me right now. And the panels, you can get those wet as long as you get them dry, you know, give them a nice little wipe down. And, you know, we're not going to worry about this too much because I'm pretty sure everybody here knows how to wipe a piece of plastic. But yeah, pretty much wipe that down, get all the dust out of there. And then you'll notice the parts right here that are on the top by the fans. You'll notice those get real dusty too, and those are kind of a problem issue. So you just want to get a dry piece of toilet paper and just kind of go in between each one of the little pieces right there. There we go, and just get all that dust out. You know, so you kind of get the point of that, blah, blah, blah. We'll just get one side. And by the way, this fan, this is not the one that you unscrew to pull out, because there's no screws. It's just in there by some measure. I wouldn't even try to mess with that. There's no screws, so you know that's not the way to go in. It would look like it's the way because it looks like the simpler fixture for it, but it's not. You'll know the one to unscrew because it's the more complicated looking side, which we're about to find out in a second. And remember I was talking about the white lines that can get scratched into your PlayStation? There's one right there. I think that's whenever I first pulled it off. And not like it really matters. You're never going to see on the inside. Let me see. That'll actually wipe out, because it's probably just going to be a little plastic paint. Nah, that's not coming off. But it's not a big deal. Not like you're ever going to see the inside of this anyway. Or maybe it could be for... Honestly, I don't even see it really hurting retail value anyway. There's the inlay from Flaming Toast to give you the cool P. The classic P. But anyway, that's pretty much what you do on this first part. You want to make sure you get the bottoms down here, the bottom down here. Just give that a quick wipe. There's not really much you can do. But yeah, let's flip this bad boy over. And remember, you don't want to go where the open lip is. You want to pull on the corner to the back. And then pop up the notches and then pull. Remember, don't pull very hard because you don't want to go. You just want to go and then pull, then gently pull it out because you don't want to get white marks. Unless you don't care, then get some white marks, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. But anyway, remember, just, get these little notches up here. Get those clean. We're just going to do a quick little wipe down. Just want to wipe down all the little crevices. Wipe the SSD drive, the little expansion port, get all the dust out of here. And now we're going to open up the fan right here. Like I said, you can tell it's a more complicated one because you can see the wires going into this part. Which looks pretty nice. I'm sure if you pull up this plastic right here, you'd just be able to pluck out the fan and get a replacement if this ever went bad or whatnot. And it's a pretty nice fan in here. They actually put a pretty beefy fan in the PlayStation. Let me see where I put my torque at. Okay, here it is. And it's actually got a cool thing with these pegs that I'll show you in a second. You'll notice the pegs right here on each side, and I'll show you what those are for in a second. But you'll notice, see, it just fits in like that if you're using the right screwdriver. And just unscrew it. And whenever you tighten these back up, just in case I don't remind you, you just want to make sure they're in there decent. You don't want to over tighten them because you might be doing this, a good amount of cleaning. So just make sure they're down. Ooh, big chunk of hair. I've got a half husky and a cat. Plus, it just gets dusty where I have this anyway, so I have to kind of keep it clean. And the cool thing is PlayStation actually made these pretty easy to maintain. Oh, and here's another thing too. You want to keep track of where your screws are going because they're actually different sizes. So this is the bottom left. That's kind of a longer screw, so I'll put it right here. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. And you can kind of, since it's just kind of each corner, you can just kind of make a square with where you're placing the screws, which I'll explain what that means in a second. Just kind of put them on the four corners of the floor or wherever you're putting them. Make sure you don't lose them because that wouldn't be great. There's actually a screw on here that's really tricky to get out, and I have no clue why they did it like this, but they did. It's kind of annoying. Alright, come on, Mr. Screw. Yeah, it'd probably be faster if I just actually unscrewed it with the tool. Alright, anyway. There we go. This looks like another long one. Let me see. See what I'm talking about with these? So I got this on the right-hand corner and this left-hand corner. Those both look like they're the same size screw, so maybe they're not too different. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but anyway, here's another one. Let's get that bad boy out. Oh, I don't know where that one went. Oh, it's right here. Okay. I'm just gonna... I don't want that to fall in the fan, so we're just going to try to lead that away. Okay, yeah, that was scary for a second. Yeah, notice this one's a little bit shorter than the other ones. So let's put that in the top left-hand corner. But notice, see, that one's a lot longer than that one is. So let's put this one right here. Now the tricky screw. So what's kind of messed up about this one is, see the screw? It's right under this plastic thing right here. So it's kind of hard to get to. And the plastic does bend a little bit. So you got to get in there, start unscrewing it a little bit and make sure. And once it's about at this point, you want to get to the plastic. And I don't know how I'm going to do it with holding the thing. I'll just explain it and kind of do it off camera in a second. So I'll just take this off. So you'll want the screwdriver in there and grab your other finger. And then you just want to push on the plastic just enough so you can get some clearance on the screw. And honestly, it's not going to mess anything as long as you put a little clearance. Now I'm doing that really hard. As long as you don't go insane with it, you're going to be fine. Just give it enough for a little bit of clearance, which it doesn't need that much, and then put your screwdriver in it when you have the clearance and just pull it out. Like, it can take a good amount of beating, so as long as you're not just, Hulk handing it, you should be fine. And let me do that off camera because I only have, one hand with it. Hold on. All right, there we go. See, now we got it out. I gave it its clearance. See, it's even laying on it. It's fine. So it has plenty of clearance. But it is a bit tricky. So, yep. So just get that one out. Looks like we got another long screw. So I guess they're all, let me see. Oh, no, that one's even longer. So, see how much longer that one is for so the bottom ones are the two medium long ones, and then you have the really long one in the top right hand corner, and then the short one in the left hand corner. All right, so now you can just take the grill off. See, just a little deal like that, and then right here you can just pull the fan out. But right here, watch these wires because these are very delicate wires. Only do this if this is something you're sure about doing. It can take a pretty good beating, but just, be careful. I'm not responsible if you blow up your fan. Right here, you're going to have another problem with this clearance thing, so you're going to have to pull that back again like you did to get the fan out. So, see if I can do that with my finger. There we go. I kind of was able to just pop it out really easy. So remember, be very careful with those wires. And the cool thing about what I was telling you earlier about those pegs, there you go. And then you want to flip it to, I guess, this way. So upwards flip, I guess, I don't know. But you can see it. And remember those pegs I was telling you about earlier? Let's see if we can find them. Right there, where there's actually a little hole that you can put the fan into, so it fits right into the pegs. And now you got a nice clean fit with the fan for cleaning. And notice we got, I cleaned it 2 weeks ago and I already got a pretty decent amount of dust built up in there. So there's a few other tricks for getting this out. And like I said, you might want to use a soft cloth instead of toilet paper, because you really don't want to lose, a piece of toilet paper in there. I'll be fine because, I'm paying attention, but, if it's something you're not used to really doing, then you might want to do that. So anyway, so you want to get your soft cloth or your toilet paper and just kind of stuff it in the little V right here. And if you want to use your screwdriver or something to kind of brush it back and forth so you can get in some of those crevices, you can do that. See, now you can see that they're all coming off pretty easy. And so you can just kind of wipe the inner blades a little bit. And these are pretty sturdy blades, so don't worry about breaking them. But yeah, to get that out, you're really going to have to kind of shove something in there to get them all out. But I have a nice little tool that I use for it. It's actually, it's for dental flossing, I believe. It comes with a little, like a wire. Let me see, actually. And it's like a, what is this? Dintech, and it's like one of these things, and you pull off the little white thing, and then it's a little flosser deal. And I use that to get the little inside jigs right here because they're kind of hard to reach in there and get. And you just kind of get it all in there, you know, and get all that out. Then you got a pretty good looking fan, you know, because you have these little, they're kind of like little raised V's in there, and they're kind of hard to get to at the bottom there. And that's really where the dusk really gets stuck in there. Or dust, not dusk. Alright. Let me actually do a little deep clean real quick. Alright, there we go. Alright, I think I did a pretty decent job. Now I got a nice little clean fan. Where's the... Make sure we get the little guy right there. Little spinny deal here. And your fan might look a little different. For some reason, PlayStation put a few different models of fans in their systems, and it's pretty bizarre, but we'll see. Like, they're different loudnesses too, so like I think mine's actually one of the louder ones, which I don't notice anyway, but like it's kind of weird because like mine, I'd prefer this one because the blades go all the way down into it, but the other ones are kind of like half blades. It's kind of weird, and then it's kind of space right here, and then the half blades, but that's the quieter one. But I feel like this one's going to circulate air a little better. Yeah, you can actually, if you have it in the notches, you can actually spin it, and yeah, that puts out a lot of good air. Or it just looks like a carousel. Alright. Anyway, or an aerosol. That was a bad joke. But yeah, let me make sure to be careful with these wires. So you just want to, actually, I'm going to move this fan a little bit. Make sure it doesn't fall, because you do not want this fan to fall. Let me clean. Oh wow, that's a little dustier on the top than I thought it would be. This is kind of just like, obviously you'll be a lot thorough at home if you're wanting to do this. I'm just trying to show it off, so I'm not cleaning it as well as I normally would. And so you can go into here if you want to and just wipe around on the inside. There we go. And, you know, make sure your fan doesn't fall, because you do not want those wires to get screwed up. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a bad day if you screw up those wires. But I'm pretty sure you'd be able to get a replacement if they don't have one. Like a replacement fan eventually, because, you know, the PlayStation 5's been pretty quick with having things come out for it. So I guarantee you, if there's not a replacement fan already, there's gonna be one. I guarantee you they'll probably even start putting out, you know, better fans that can blow more air, you know, the enhanced fan, you know, you can order it from China, but, you know, I wouldn't trust that too much. But let's see. Alright, so you just pop it back in. Make sure, you'll see right here, remember those pegs I told you for putting it in? Well, those pegs actually keep it in on the other side. And there's only 2 of these screw things that have the peg holes. So that's how you know which is the right way to put it back in. Alright, so let's put the screws back in. Alright, I'm going to try to fast forward that a little bit. Alright, now we got all of the screws in except for the little tricky one up top. Remember, you just kind of put it in the side and then pull up on the plastic, and it'll just drop right on down. And then, let me see. Okay. And you might have to hold it with one hand to give it clearance and then screw it down. And remember, you don't want it to get too tight. when you're screwing them down. You just want to make sure they're in there. Just make sure they're fully down, but don't, over tighten them. Just put them where they're in, like it's not going anywhere. You're good. Alright, and that's how you clean your fan. And then you make sure this is with these wires right here. You want to make sure they're they have this little crevice right here. Make sure those wires are in there. You don't want to get one over the crevice here when you close the panel down, because it might hurt that wire, which I don't know if the panel would really press that hard on it, but you want to be a little careful. It is a $500 console, so, and obviously if you have the digital, you're not going to have this big lump right here for the disc case, so it'll be a little different looking for you, but I wouldn't imagine it'd be too much different. So there you go, you got a clean fan. And now we have one last thing to clean. Unless, well, not technically one. Hold on, let's get this bad boy up here. You can technically clean up here too, because it definitely gets dusty, the front part of the PlayStation. I just put a little bit of water on there. This thing just attaches scratches, or attracts scratches really bad. The nice little clear middle part, but it is what it is. So yeah, you just want to wipe that down. It doesn't really, you don't really have to worry about the dust too much from it, but it's more of an aesthetic thing. So you just wipe that down, get it nice and shiny. You know how it is. And be careful with using water to get the dust out of here. You should be fine if you use just dampness on things, but water and electronics usually aren't great, but as long as you're careful, you'll be fine. And this is the last area that you want to clean, and that's the very back right here. And it's another one of these pain in the butt notch things. So you just want to grab something. You might want to put it down. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to put it down so you can see the notches a little better. And, well, I wish I would have brought more things for cleaning this, but there's a little better piece. So you want to get a little small piece of toilet paper or your soft cloth and just put it in each one of these little guys. It's kind of tedious, kind of a pain, but you only have to do it once a month, once every 3 months, depending on how you really want to do it, or just pop off the panels and just give it a quick little wipe down, if you're not trying to go as OCD as I'm doing right now, but just, maintain it a little bit, because the thing is, when dust starts getting into these type of consoles, it causes a lot of heat, makes things kind of not act the way it really should, and once the heat starts, building up and up, that fan is going to start spinning faster and faster, and before you know it, in a couple of years, it's going to, depending on how high these, GPU clocks are running, it could be a year, and it's going to sound like you have a rocket engine taking off in your living room. So, and I've definitely had PlayStations, I had an original PlayStation that I really didn't take too good of care of, and I just kind of got lazy with it, got a lot of dust in it, and I swear that thing, I'm surprised that thing wasn't levitating off the ground with how loud that fan was going. It straight up sounded like a rocket was going off in the room. It was I literally had to I had to get long cords and extension cords for it and have it running outside of the room when I played it, and you could still hear it. I eventually I just ordered the screwdrivers and cleaned it out and put new thermal paste on it, and now it sounds fine, but you're not going to really be able to re-thermal paste these, since it's, because, well, I'm sure you would be able to, but I don't think, most normal people would be able to, use the liquid metal. Like, I don't think normal people are gonna be able to, re-liquid metal these things, because it's really dangerous if you get it outside anywhere if you get a drop of liquid metal outside of the board, or on top of the board, or outside of its little reservoir from the chip it has. It will fry that part of the board, and you just have a $500 paperweight at that point. Anyway, like I said, I'm not trying to go crazy with it. I'm just kind of trying to show how to do it, and that's really it. Now you got a nice, clean, dust-free PlayStation. Just wipe it down, get it looking good, clean up your panels, get all the dust off the insides of their panels, and you're good to go. Oh no, I think I messed up something. I sure did. Here's something not to forget, because I totally did. Oh no. Okay, am I gonna have to re-screw this in? Yeah, I totally screwed that up. Okay. Alright, well, I forgot to put this part of the fan back on, so make sure you put the grill back on, because what this grill does is it actually protects it from more dust getting in there. Or little kids putting their fingers in there and cutting their finger off, which I doubt it'd cut your finger off, but yeah, let me fix that real quick. Okay, and here's another thing with the fans right here. Let's say you pull the fan out a little too much. These wires will actually extend a little bit right here. See how I pulled them out a little bit? And they're a little kind of out of the reservoir. Well, you can just push them right back in that slot right there. So if they're hanging out a little bit, just put it right back in the slot, and you're good to go. And another thing with putting this on, you'll know that there's these parts where the pegs go. See, there's 2 holes right there, and two holes right here, like at the edge right there. Other ones only have 1 screw hole. Well, you want, see, on this part right here, there's this flap right here. Well, that's in the part with the other 2 holes, doesn't have that flap. Well, the flap goes where the wires go right here, and that's what covers up and protects those wires right there. So you want to put it in like you normally would. Pop that one in its little peg, and then pop that one on its peg right there, and notice this little overflap protects those wires right there. So that's perfect. Alright, there we go. Now that's put back on. Well, it's about to be anyway. Put the screws back in. Alright, now we got the plate back on. Everything's all good and wiped down. There's only one more thing, and you only have to worry about this if you got the disc version. See, you'll be able to tell the disc side because it has these huge chunks all in it. Oh crap. Oh no, everything's good. Oh. I have these little power light things that go over the lights, and I kind of unstuck for a second, but it's all good. This is something you'd want to use a soft cloth for if you want to clean out the disk drive front, because you don't want to use toilet paper or something, because you do not want a piece of toilet paper to go in there. So just use some sort of cloth, maybe an old shirt, and just kind of just clean out the front of it. You want the cloth to go in a tiny bit into the front, but you don't want it going past the part that actually takes the disc. So just get a little bit of dust out. It's not a big deal. And then just wipe the front, and then looks like you're all good. See, I've been keeping this thing clean. The front still looks scratched up and wonky on this little shiny part, but other than that, this thing looks pretty brand new. So now it's time to put the panels on and call it a day. And just in case you don't know how to put you don't remember how to put the panels on, you really just kind of put it on kind of like 3/4 of the way. No, I think you can just kind of put it on the top and just put it, flush with the system. You don't have to put it 3/4, especially for the disc side, and just kind of, that's kind of hard to do with one hand, but maybe not. Why is this not going on? Hold on. Okay, yeah, it was in the same, it was in the right place. It just, I wasn't pushing hard enough. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but now we just get the other side. Oh crap, I got something gross on that fan part, but then just grab the, make sure there's no debris on it. Kind of have it on a dirty little blanket here, which isn't the best. Just put it kind of, I'll show you kind of far away. So just put it on the top, and then just slide it over. See, I'll use my foot. There you go. Just pop it on, and you're good. You don't have to worry about how hard you press when you're putting it back on. That really doesn't matter at all. And there you go. You got a nice, clean PlayStation. And I'll put in the comments the name of the screwdriver. I believe it's the T8 security torx screwdriver, but it could be a T6 security torx, and that's TORX torx. So it's either T6 or T8 security torx, and I'll put that in the description so you know exactly which one it is. All right, thanks. Peace. Hope you guys have a great day.